The minutes long should talk back. E. Backwards responsibility. R. E. Expects. E. Expects this. I got something.
So again, we want to say good afternoon to everyone and welcome everyone that came out to this event. We're calling this our last bell ceremony because we know that when the bell rings this afternoon, it will be for the last and final time that we wanted to be together as a community today to acknowledge and pay homage to the legacy of our school. Before we get started, I would like to recognize a few special guests. They are all special guests, but we have a few people that have played an integral role in the history of Swayze, and we would like to acknowledge them. First, if you are an alumnus, would you please stand? Thank you. Also in our midst today, you will see the pictures and brief overviews of at least all of the principals that I know of from Swayze. And we do have some family members and some former employees here today. I'd first like to welcome Ms. Alicia Robinson. Would you stand? Ms. Robinson is the daughter of former Principal Patrick Robinson, who was not only an administrator at Swayze, but also a mentor to many young men and students that came to Swayze. Ms. Marvin Newman. If I'm correct, Ms. Newman, you were both a student and a teacher at Swayze Elementary. Right. Thank you. Did I see Ms. Curry? Ms. Angel Curry. Ms. Curry is still a part of us because she actually retired, but she still works with us and does reading interventions. And she is going viral right now because Ms. Curry taught for how many years? 33 years. And how many know where Swayze? She was at Swayze from 99 until she retired, which would have been 19. And she has a book that has the name of every student that she ever taught in that book. So there are a lot of people who was digging that wanted to see their names in this Curry's book. Then we have Swayze alumnus, Ms. Rubin Jones. I'm not going to say a lot because I don't want to get things mixed up, but you will hear from Mr. Jones shortly. We will have clips, and I'll tell you, and Mr. Simmons will be able to tell you more about the documentary that we'll see parts of, and Mr. Jones is a part of that. I will say that he is an alumnus, and he has a well-renowned athlete in his own right. You will hear more about him. As well as Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright is a student at Swayze and went on to play in the NBA and has a long history of coaching and mentoring because. So at a later time, if they would like to address us, we will allow you all opportunity to do that. And we have a student that was here as a student at Swayze Elementary in 1981 when it opened, Mr. Ellis Hamilton. I also want to take the time to past alumni to stand, but I do want to just give a special recognition to a group of people who have grown so close to my heart over the past, 8 or 9 Tuesdays. we spent together planning these events. And so as I spent those Tuesdays, I started learning a whole lot more about Swayze, and why there is so much pride. There is a lot to be proud of being a part of the Swayze community and the Bryant edition. At this time, we please welcome one of our alumnus, Mr. Marcus B. Simmons, filmmaker. He is going to give us our occasion and tell us more about the film that we will be doing parts of today.
Right, good morning, everyone. It's my name is Marcus Simmons. I was here back in 1990 to 1996, and today I'm going to talk to you about basically the origin of Swayze Elementary School. The origin of Swayze Elementary dates back to the 1930s. During this time, African American students were receiving education in a little building on Lee Street that was called the Bryant Edition Negro School. 1951, the current building was constructed. On January 29, 1951, the Washington Parish School Board took the motion to rename Bryant Edition Negro School to Reverend Willie H. Swayze Elementary School in honor of the father of the school board member of Marcus E. Swayze. Swayze Elementary has long served as a fundamental gathering place and lunch pad for families living in the Southside, Monroe, and Richmond areas. It's deeply celebrated for its rich culture, where generations of parents, children, and grandchildren are all passed in the same classrooms. Local alumni highly praise the school's historical staff on instilling lifelong discipline and strong study habits. On February 10, 2026, the Washington Parish School Board holds a permanent closed facility as part of a consolidation designed to address the increased student enrollment at Southern Washington Parish schools and the aging infrastructure of the school building. Today, we pause to celebrate the history and legacy of slavery. And I want to mention about, I made the documentary lecture of Bryant's history because lately I always hear stories of people from New York, those large cities where they don't know the great things, and I always heard from my mom and my father. We have legends, great people from Monroe as well, the Southside especially. And so I wouldn't say I did it out of spite, but in the way I did, I was like, I want to know people that I can see, I can touch, that my parents always tell me about. My mom on Action Street, she always just tell me about the Howard. She's telling me about the Simmons brothers. My father's always telling me about Mr. Jones, Jumping Jack, Rubin Jones, and Larry Wright. My dad always say, man, Larry, shoot, he's one of the best shooters I ever seen in Grand. He said, sometimes I feel like with Madison Square Garden going to Grand and seeing this the right play. And so, thankfully, back in 2021, I interviewed Mr. Jones, Ted Johnson, Rick, were all the guys honing their skills. And I didn't know it was going to turn into what it turned into. And I'm glad that I took the risk to doing that. And I just wanted to, tell everybody in Monroe that we have legends, we have great people who come from greatness, despite what people may say about the area. And that's honestly the reason why I did it, because I always wanted to use my skill set to graduate from ULM and national education and learning a lot of my fundamentals on public speaking and being in the band club, being in the band here at Swayze, walking across that stage and hearing Mr. Johnson and all the other teachers encourage us. All of that started here at Swayze when I was in Law's age, back in the bleachers. And basically a thank you to all the people coming before me. And that's honestly why I wanted to put together a documentary based on Wright's edition. And we'll learn about it further along as we go. But thank you.
Mrs. Rebecca Bose became principal during a pivotal era for the school, notably overseeing its transition when a new facility was erected in 1954 following a fire in the previous year. The 1953 remodel of the school was considered highly modern for its time, featuring forward-thinking amenities like classroom kitchenettes, alphabet tile flooring, and dedicated classroom bathrooms. Under Ms. Bose's leadership, the school was recognized for its exceptional educational standards. Please welcome Mr. Ellis Hamilton, a student that began at Swayze in the fall of 1951 when the school opened. He will share memories of Ms. Bose and the beginning years of the school.
To the principal, Dr. Jenkins, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends. Having been a student at Bryant Public School and one of the first students to attend Swayze Elementary School, it is with mixed emotions as well as an honor and a privilege to be here today to witness ringing the last bell. Let us for a few moments reminisce about Bryant Public School, your predecessor to Swayze Elementary School. Records do not reflect the exact date the school was built, but it is believed that it was built in the mid-30s at 703 Reed Street. Since this building was not large enough to house all 8th grade, classes was held in 4 churches: Trojan, Alma Temple, Holy Temple, commonly referred to as Sanctified Church, and New Life. Mrs. Rebecca Bose became the first and only principal of Bryant Additional Public School. She excelled in accomplishing a very difficult task of starting a new school with inadequate supplies and facilities and having to manage teachers at 5 different locations. Yet, she succeeded in creating an impeccable learning environment so that we would have the opportunity to become the next generation of doctors, teachers, lawyers, scientists, and entrepreneurs, and that we would have an opportunity to impact the world. Mrs. Bose was a beacon of hope. She was a forward thinker, a visionary with keen insight for details, who consistently demonstrated passion, personal commitment to staff, students alike. Her closeness with and profound affection for her students inspired us to excel beyond insurmountable odds. Bryant Public School closed its doors in May of 1951 and became a recreation center for the Bryant community. Also, Mrs. Bose served as the treasurer for the land committee of Bryant PTA. This trailblazing community was directly responsible for helping to secure the funding necessary to build Swayze Elementary School. The school was built between 1950 and 51 for $119,840. Swayze Elementary School opened its doors in September 1951, 75 years ago, with Ms. Rebecca Bose as the president. She was a giant among giants. What we accomplished at Bryant Addition and Swayze School under her extraordinary leadership may have been equal but never surpassed. Mrs. Bose members will forever be etched in our hearts, and her legacy will live on through all of us. If I would just like an opportunity to talk, Ms. Bose stood up Bryant Addition School. She stood up Swayze in 1951. On the 28th day of March 1953, this school burned down to the ground. So we had to go back to Bryant Addition, to the old school, and go back to churches. So we came back here in 1954. How many other principals was able to complete that feat? None. I am proud that I had the opportunity to start out at Bryant's district and transition to the state.
Patrick Robinson. Patrick Robinson served as a prominent local educator, notable for leading Swayze Elementary and serving as an early mentor and educator for local athletes. Mr. Ray Oliver Wright. Mr. Ray Oliver Wright was a prominent and highly respected educator. His extensive career left a lasting impression on generations of Southside Monroe students and the broader local educational community. The historical Southside Boys Club in Monroe, Louisiana was established during the 1960s as a prominent neighborhood hub for local youth. The organization is highly remembered for its cultural and community footprint in this area. It was directed and kept alive by Richard L. Jackson, a dedicated local police officer who mentored thousands of young boys in this community. The legacy, the club served as an essential center for athletics and character development, training notable area athletes like Ridgewood High and Gremlin State basketball star Peter, Mr. Basketball, Monson.
Former Southside Boys Club members honored Mr. Richard L. Jackson for his dedicated service to the boys on the south side of Monroe off Burr Jones Lane and surrounding communities. Former Boys Club members, now grown with families, recognize Mr. Richard L. Jackson for his work with the boys. Let your work speak for you while staying humble and just do the work. Rarely does anyone mention the Southside Boys Club without mentioning the beloved Mr. CC, who was a custodian at Swayze and also worked with character.
Charles H. Johnson. Charles H. Johnson was a prominent local educator and Monroe City Councilman who served for decades as longtime widely beloved principal of Swayze Elementary. Alumni frequently celebrate Mr. Johnson as the absolute best principal in the school's history, noted his deep personal investment in his students. He famously went above and beyond, even personally paying the school janitor out of his own pocket to cut boys' hair and their parents could not afford it. And I would also like to say, I was here when Mr. Johnson was principal, and he was stern, but he also was confident. He would have a lot of famous quotes. He would say, baby, into your room. I just like to bring you saying that. Hopefully I don't think he said that to me. I'll try to do the best I could. And I also had another one, send them to me. You know why? I remember when Monroe was working, the Russell was on me. He said, to make a long story short, there was some kind of troublemakers during this year. My brother said the entire school's in the cafeteria. I said we went in here, but he lined up these guys that were causing trouble. And he said to the entire student body, everybody was in there. And he said, if y'all see any of them doing anything bad, send them to me. So everybody was put on notice. It wasn't like we were in fear of them, but he put it out there to say, you become a good student. They shouldn't be bothering. You go tell him, he would get on and he would, why we get to the next day? No, he would come literally right then and there and handle the situation. And I remember, I know that was Louis' time, but he had a Lord. As I got older, I think it was a charcuterie board. He got big ones. And people walk around me, so they just know, like, you're not playing, you know. And he would also sit the breezeway in the main building, the main way where you come to outside. You can sit in the middle of the halls, and at the end of the bell, like clockwork, you can be there and see every student. You would give them a five. Give you a five, slap your hand, say good job. He was always encouraging. He would just pop in sometimes in the classroom and say, what's going on, and shake people if you needed to. And he was always a place of love. And even sometimes, one of my brothers, we would have school dances just for no reason, just as he wanted us to just have a good day. And somehow, I remember the custodian, Lynn, he had a smoke machine. I don't know where they got it from. In 5 years, he was smoking, he was dancing, and we used to have a good time. And he was like that. And we used to have popcorn from the session and his pickles and chilies. And sometimes kids didn't have enough. He would just go and say, go to something, but you didn't stop for it. You have to pay for it. And he was always just encouraging, and he would just, like when everybody said his name, everybody started applauding. So it was just a great time being here and learning from him. And I always missed him. And sadly, he passed. The slack, she, not to make fun of it, she picked up the slack, and she ushered us into a new era. And I'm going to read a little bit about her. Ms. Slack served in many capacities while at Swayze Elementary, including Chapter 1 tutoring coordinator and reading math coordinator. She's most well known for her role as principal, which she transitioned into after the tragic loss of beloved principal Charles Johnson. Ms. Slack served as principal until she transitioned into a role in governing the city of Monroe. I remember that was a tough time being that young. I part of the school, they sent therapists here to sort of tell us what happened with Mr. Johnson and Ms. Slack. Thankfully, like when she came in, I know she updated a lot of things here and sort of kept us moving and encouraged us. And it was sort of, I was very young when it happened, so I mostly have fond memories of Mr. Johnson because how long he was there, but Ms. Slack, obviously she did a lot and helped out the school, so he steadily passed, even myself and where kids are now. And we just blessed to have these students, blessed to be under these two principles. And thank you.
Johnson, I wish, when they ask you if there's anybody that you could meet, who would it be? I have to say it would have to be Mr. Charles H. Johnson.
Yes, Lord.
I have heard so many stories about him, and it could be something because you think you're all that, but this children let me know very quickly there will never ever be another Charles H. Johnson.
That's it.
We might like you,
Yeah, you ain't it.
but you can't hold him to Mrs. Johnson.
Okay.
And I accepted it. And the more stories I heard about Mr. Johnson, the more I realized it was true.
I'm about to show a clip from the alumnus Marcus Simmons documentary. The alumni Rubin Jones and Larry Wright talk about the foundational skills that they received from Swayze Elementary.
Along with mentorship and camaraderie at the Rec Center, Swayze Elementary will play a key role in helping the guys become better students and athletes.
Swayze is the best school I ever went to. That's counting Richwood and NLU. Because Swayze gave us our basic, our fundamentals. And at that school, we had everything. And what I mean by that is that we were the only black school in the surrounding areas in basketball that boys and girls had full uniform. Mr. Robinson, Coach Jones, they did an excellent job for our athletics. And not only after that, we had Glee Club, 4-H Club, choir, band. I mean, it just was a well-rounded school. And that was back in the 60s. I would always say that until I go in my grave. Swayze's best school I ever went to.
We got it at an early age. I'm telling you, the fundamentals we received at Swayze, unreal. People that left Swayze went to either Richwood or Cal because of a guy named Rubin Jones. He went to Grambling. He taught us the game. Basketball, football, baseball. We was like magnets. He was like, when he was around, we was like magnets because we wanted to learn. Mr. Jones and Mr. Patrick Robinson was the principal. Then they had later on, it was Miss Bose, she was the principal. But they taught you the fundamentals of the game. And another thing they taught you, you were going to class. You know, they would check your grades. You know what I mean? They didn't want to see nothing less than a C. You understand what I'm saying? So we all strive to be better in school and better at athletics. And when we left Swayze, okay, and went to high school, then we was prepared for the discipline that we was going to receive in high school because we had already got it. And that's the reason Carol and Richwood was so successful, is the coaches and the principals that they had at those schools. It's amazing to me that these many people could come from that area. And I think what's important about that area, if you take Swayze Elementary, okay, you had people, coaches, principals, teachers at that type school, but they all came from the black colleges. It's amazing. I can go on and on. They came from the black colleges and they had it in their heart. They had gone off to college, they were successful. So when they came back to these schools and these communities, they wanted to make young men successful. All of us had a taste of all of them.
If you have not watched this film in its entirety, it is, I'll let Mr. Simmons tell you more about it. I found it on YouTube. It really, really is worth watching. And let's take a moment to give him a hand for his work. This moment served Swayze as a classroom teacher and principal. She took the helm of Swayze Elementary when Ms. Slack retired to go into work with Monroe, the city of Monroe. During Ms. Bowman's administration, Swayze had many extracurricular activities, such as cheerleaders, flag, and tackle football teams. They had basketball teams and a drama club. The students also participated in programs like Girl Power and Save Our Sons. Swayze has also been known for loving teachers who went above and beyond to make an impact on the lives of their students. This is why I asked for the alumni survey so that I could know those names. So many of those teachers that were mentioned in that survey are Ms. Wingard, Mr. Butler. We talked about Mr. CC. We also had we had our time with Mr. Vernon Washington. Mr. Vernon was a student at Swayze, graduated from Swayze, met his wife at Swayze, and then spent 35 years taking care of Swayze. So many who've gone through Swayze will remember Mr. Vernon Washington. Of course, Miss Marvin Newman, and then Miss Lively, who was a longtime pre-K teacher. We mentioned Miss Curry. Then other current teachers, such as Ms. Jennifer Wright, Ms. Donna Anthony, and Ms. Tracy Sills. We've also had many parents who have made a great difference. As a leader, I can tell you we need everybody on board to make sure our students are successful. So the way this came about, I wanted to recognize different members of all of the stakeholders, students, parents, teachers, and I was really trying to make sure the age of Swayze, and I went and I pulled a folder in the central office. And there I found letters from Mr. Nigella Williams, letters to the superintendent, advocating for a traffic sign to be put in place for the safety of the students, letters for other resources. And so there is, there's about 4 or 5 years that Mr. Magellan, he was an active parent for many years, but he took the helm of the PTA and was very active, as I could see in that folder, really trying to make sure that Swayze got the things that they needed. The teachers were teaching, the administrators were doing their jobs, but our parents were also advocating to make sure that our students got everything that they needed. Next, these are other parents that we have been throughout the time that I've been here. Many of you may remember Ms. Leela Stott and Ms. Monica Stott. They were very active during the time that their child was here and beyond. Once she was away, they were active parts of our committees, and they were present at everything that we had. So we also want to remember, we have Mr. Robinson and Ms. April Brown, who dedicated 2 years to mentoring our youth and working with basketball team. And they would work with community members like Pat Williams and others to secure transportation to take our children so that they could play basketball and even had a little bit of football going on for a little while. So sometimes people don't realize how much extra effort that puts. It was more than them coming into the gym and working with the students. They had to find transportation, they bought snacks, and they spent all these times. So those are parents that we wanted to recognize for some of their outstanding service to Swayze throughout its history.
1968, Rubin Jones will be a part of a handful of black athletes and students that will help integrate Northeast Louisiana University.
One of the proudest things I'm proud of is that we was trailblazers for the NLU. To see all those black kids out there is tremendous. It's not only just sports, but in education itself. Because when we first went out there, you can count us on your hands and toes. It was all new to us because I went to an all-black school. Now I'm at an integrated school. So it was a real learning experience. Some good and some bad. But the good always outdo the bad. Henry Steele, Andrew Harris, and myself, we signed the Northeast in basketball, 1968. Joe Ross ran track. He signed in 1968. 4 of us came. Joe Prophet actually went to Alcorn, and he transferred to ULM. He left Alcorn after a week or 2, and he came to ULM, and the rest is history. Now you talking about making a move, now that was a move. I signed a scholarship in basketball, and it was in the summer, and Joe Prophet called me. He said, man, I know you signed in basketball, I want you to come try out for football. I said, okay, it was in the summer. So I went on a tryout, and when you got there, they gave tryouts blue jerseys. Our color then was maroon and white. The defense had maroon, the offense had white. I had a blue jersey. I kept that blue jersey for 1 day, and I got a white jersey, offense. I was always could catch the ball, so coming from Richwood, being a running back and could catch, that helped me. Now, I switched to flanker back when I went to college because Joe Prophet was a year ahead of me. And I know they weren't gonna start both of us in the backfield. So I had a choice. Either sit on the bench for 3 years until he leave or switch position. So I could catch the ball, I switched position. And they moved the all-conference split end to tight end, and I started as a freshman at split end. The relationship at that time wasn't great because, it was right after integration, right? Yeah, we were just integrating. The relationship it grew, but it wasn't, when we first went there, it wasn't that good because it was new to everybody. When we used to go to we go to dinner, all the black guys used to sit together and all the white guys sit together. So the head coach told me, y'all mix up. And I think that's what started a better relationship because you got a chance to know the other guy besides the guys you already knew, which I think was good for the whole environment. In my first year, we didn't have a winning season. We was like 4-6. Sophomore year, we were 6-4. We turned it around. My junior year, we were 7-3. And my senior year, I think we was 5-5, something like that. Each year it got better because we started getting more black athletes in, and that improved the whole scenario of the team. At one time, I was the all-time leading receiver in NLU history in yards, touchdowns, and catches, and I'm not in the Hall of Fame. That is crazy. Anybody lead in all three major categories at any school, if they have a Hall of Fame, they should be in it. Now, the reason being, to me, I think all the old coaches that I played on, they gone, retired, or dead and gone. And, it just never did happen for me. But the most rewarding thing that ever happened to me, Sammy White told me, I learned from the best, I learned from you. And that was greater than any Hall of Fame honor that I could get, coming from a great player like him.
On August 9, 2012, then Superintendent Dr. Robert Bob Weber assigned Dr. Dana Scott Jenkins as the interim principal at Swayze Elementary, having been her first principal when she began her teaching career as a math teacher at Washita Junior High School. Dr. Weber believed that Dr. Jenkins possessed the attributes and skill necessary to increase student achievement. 2020 OPSB Support Staff of the Year. These are all pictures under Dr. Dana Jenkins' principalship here at Swayze. This is a picture of Bruce Taylor, Representative Bruce Taylor, 2020 Washita Parish School Board Support Staff of the Year. This picture represents our growth, 24-25, 7.1 points, which was the third highest growth in the Washita Parish School Board system. The strength of Swayze Elementary has always been its people. Earlier, we highlighted staff from the past. Now, I would like to help us recognize and celebrate our current staff members. This team has worked tirelessly over the past several years to improve the services offered to our students. This is Hollis Platt, son. First grade, Miss White and Miss Hodge. Second grade, Miss Anthony and her parent, Miss Bosworth. She was the only second grade teacher this year, so she was all alone. Sorry, Miss Me. Third grade, we have Miss Stevenson and Miss Sillers. Fourth grade, Miss Morrison and Miss Smith Room. Fifth grade, Miss Ortiz and Miss Emmett. And then we have our self-contained class. We have Mr. Osborne, we have Miss Cat, and we have Miss Wallace. And you're our wonderful parents here at Swayze. And we have our bus drivers. And we have our cafeteria staff. And last but not least is our custodial staff. And we have our reading team on the library with our reading interventions. We have our office here, Miss Osborne and Dr. Petit. And we have Miss Jones, Mrs. Jones, our curriculum coordinator. And we have Dr. Jenkins and we have Miss Trey, administrator. And then it's the staff as a whole.
We do want to give some tokens for our staff for their hard work. Each staff member is going to get this certificate. Our mission is we're launching successful futures by laying solid foundations. So you see the little Trojan on the side, and then you see the rocket. For us, the rocket stands for each one of our children, and we believe that they can reach every goal that they have. They can truly reach the stars if they have the proper support. And so it has been our task over the past, for me and this team, 14 years, to provide that support to launch those successful futures. Part of our thank you is the shirts that you see us in. It has a depiction of our mission. And then on the back, as of today, our mission has been accomplished. So we're going to start with our transportation staff. If you are here, if you'll come forward. Then we'll go to our cafeteria staff and our custodial staff. When you take your certificate, if you would go stand in front of the backdrop as a team, we want to get pictures. That's his name, Shell. First, we have to Ms. Tammy Gaskew. This certificate is given to Tammy Gaskew for 7 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a bus driver. Their study assisted in launching successful futures. Great job, mission. Ms. Bessie Jackson. With the certificate, Ms. Bessie Jackson for 40 years of service to Swayze Elementary. 9 years of service, we'll fix that, to Swayze Elementary as a bus aide. Your service assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Mission accomplished. For our custodial staff, this certificate is given to Thomas Wilson for 6 years of service to Swayze Elementary. Your service assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Mission accomplished. Mr. Malachi K., this certificate is given to you for 4 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a business supervisor. Your service has assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. She got glass. Mr. Christopher Hill. Cafeteria, you'll come first, so we don't have to spend so much time waiting. Mr. Hill is completing 1 year of service to Swayze Elementary and our custodial staff. Your assistance has helped to launch successful futures. Great job. Ms. Donna Kelly, for 9 years of service to Swayze Elementary. Great job. Ms. Lisa Sally. She's been with us for longer, but officially 1 year of service to Swayze Elementary and our custodial department. Your service assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Ms. Vine O'Brien. This certificate is given to you for 27 years. Your service assisted in launching successful futures.
That's my mom.
For our cafeteria staff, Mr. Joseph Dunn. This certificate is given to you for 7 years of service to Swayze Elementary and our child nutrition department. Your service assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Mr. Vincent Jenkins. This certificate is given to you for 10 years of service to Swayze Elementary School. Your service has assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Miss Melinda Jones. This certificate is given to Miss Melinda Jones for 18 years of service to Swayze Elementary. Miss Kenyatta Williams. This certificate is given to Kenyatta Williams for 9 years of service to Swayze Elementary. Your service assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Miss Marcandria, Miss Tandy LaSue. She has a setback. She is our cafeteria manager, and she has given 5 years of service to Swayze Elementary School. Now we'll start with our instructional staff. Come on, Miss Michelle Evans. The certificate is given to Miss Michelle Evans for 8 years. Did not know it. We have done well in our class. 8 years of service. Her co-part is Rubin Ortiz. This certificate is given to Ms. Ortiz for 1 year of service to Swayze Elementary as a 5th grade teacher. Ms. Samantha Smith. Okay, you all gotta listen to this one. Gotta keep up. This certificate is given to Samantha Smith for 10 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a paraprofessional, computer lab manager, secretary, and 4th grade teacher. Miss Victoria Lawrence. We're going down in order, so if you know the name is coming, be close. This certificate is given to Victoria Lawrence for 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary School as a 4th grade teacher. And you can hear her students up there cheering for her and for Miss Smith. They really love you all out. Do you ever know people nasty and stuff? Miss Fatima Stevenson. This certificate is given to Fatima Stevenson for 5 years of service to Swayze Elementary. Served as a grade teacher all 5 years. Miss Tracy Stillers. This certificate is presented to Ms. Stillers for 20 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a 3rd grade teacher. Miss Donna Anthony. 20 years of service to Swayze Elementary School. She said I'm not getting rid of her because we're going to shame books. Yeah. Miss Jennifer White. 19 years of service to Swayze Elementary School as a 1st grade teacher. Miss Cindy Hodge. 9 years of service to Swayze Elementary School as a kindergarten and 1st grade teacher. Miss Kenyatta Turner. 1 year of service to Swayze Elementary as a kindergarten teacher. Miss Catherine Hall. For 3 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a computer lab manager, paraprofessional, and kindergarten teacher. Mr. Christian Ford. Four years of service to Swayze Elementary as a resource teacher. Ms. Alexandra Antoine. Six years of service to Swayze Elementary as a dyslexic reading specialist. Your service has assisted in launching successful futures. Great job. Okay. So this was can't heard. This is another one you have to listen carefully. This certificate is given to Nicole Naylor for 12 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a paraprofessional, computer lab manager, secretary, second grade teacher, and now librarian. Kimberly Clint-Roy. These are our teaching assistants. Ms. Kimberly Clint-Roy for 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a paraprofessional and computer lab manager. Yeah. Ms. Shirley Wallace. This certificate is given to Shirley Wallace for 7 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a paraprofessional. You know, you hold it down when you got somebody that's not. Catherine LeBoy. Lloyd has 13 years of service to Swayze Elementary School as a paraprofessional. Ms. Janiyah Williams. Ms. Williams has 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a pre-K paraprofessional. She is our current this year's support person of the year, and she was a finalist for district support person of the year. Ms. Lenita Boxworth. This certificate is given to Lenita Boxworth for 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a paraprofessional. Ms. Mavis Johnson. This certificate is presented to Ms. Johnson for 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary School as a paraprofessional. Great job. Ms. Nurse Perry. Ms. Felicia Perry. This certificate is given to Ms. Felicia Perry for 9 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a nurse.
Hello.
Mr. Wilder for 1 year of service to Swayze Elementary as our music teacher.
Yeah.
Eventually go home. And so, just like I wanted to celebrate the legacy of this school, we could not close the doors without celebrating these people who have maintained these things. I would like to take this time now to go back and allow some of our special guests, if there is anything you would like to say. No, we've heard from you all, but if you would like to have any remarks, because these are going to be our last remarks that we will hear, advice as you go forward. Would either anybody like to? Let's give them a hand.
Good afternoon.
Hey, bud.
Swayze Elementary.
Yes.
I will, where I will be there. It would not be for Swayze Elementary. Growing up in Bryant's edition, as a young boy, this was the first school that I ever into. As they say, the benefit. That's the issue. Well, the village for me, as in the youngster running around in Manson District, Marine straight to Swayze Elementary. Now, she falls, mentor, that spent Simmons goings, Miss John, Miss Man, and all the teachers. Dog Stills, Tucson recorded, go on with that. But not be for Swayze. I don't know where of a big day. From started as a young basketball player, watching a Rubin Jones, major by Mr. One basketball player, who never beat them. So I know what you all have done here at Swayze Elementary.
Amen.
Because I've seen all of it when I attended Swayze Elementary, for people telling me in the street what I couldn't do. Look back, line around, streets of Ryan Station to Swayze, what you can't do. But every time I walked in to go at Swayze Elementary, somebody encouraged me to be better, to be better. You can be something. You can do something with the law. I appreciate everything that is done for me at Swayze Elementary.
Amen.
And they made it so yours to Swayze Elementary here. But they can shut the door to my heart
That's right.
when coming Swayze Elementary. Because I was from Swayze Elementary to the National Basketball Association. The people thought you got cool, but the people at Swayze thought they had cool. So I appreciate everything that all did. And guess what? My children, attend Swayze Elementary because of what Swayze Elementary did to me. And for that reason, all of my kids, the Swayze Elementary, they went on and graduated from Alumni. Swayze Elementary. I'm not going to tell you nothing about Swayze Elementary. There's a little kid named Wright, from Swayze Elementary to the NBA and to Swayze Elementary around the world. So the world, if they think they doing something negative, by closing Swayze Elementary. But hey, you can't close the hall of Swayze Elementary. I've been around the world, like I said. I've been around the United States, like I said. In Bryant's edition, in Swayze Elementary, it don't get any better. All right. Congratulations to everybody. That's been part of the Alumni, and I'm very proud of you.
That's a little Mary side, but I have she did know one of the best basketball players, right? That's right. And do the Swayze.
Say it again.
I am one of the best. Stop. I never will forget. You think that's about how those of the young. We had two young men that come spray out put out, get serious side and full carvel and bitch had to stay on bay path. And I y'all know of the day while we play says court. I never don't worry, I don't really know, cause those days are behind us. When moments to remember, Priscilla Brown, Captain Robertson, and I had. And today I love Freddie that he's so bad that I got to treat that. The facts. Down over there, that room.
Without feeling it, man.
That's how I be, man.
The only thing I want to say is, like Bug say, there's nothing like Swayze. And the same thing happened to Richwood. They closed it down. I'll tell you a little short story. My daughter had to leave. She went to Carroll. I said, it's a shame you got to go to Carroll. She said, Dad, they closed your school now. I said, sure, they can close it down. They can burn it up, or they can blow it up, but they can't kill the spirit. You cannot kill the spirit of Swayze or Richwood. As long as one of us living, Swayze and Richwood will live for eternity. And you need to take that home to. And one more thing on Sacred. All you young people, we know y'all know technology and hip hop and all that. Pay attention to the older people so you can learn your history. They trying to erase. And I'm not talking just for me. I'm talking about anybody else that achieved things. They trying to erase your history. There's no way, like I said on that film, that I held all three categories. You can't do nothing with football but catch it, run it, throw it. And I held all three categories, most receiving yards, most touchdowns, and most catches. But they didn't put me in the Hall of Fame. But God know what I did, and the people of Monroe, Richwood, they know what I did. All right, nice, right? So I'll say this and go, keep the faith, Swayze is not going anywhere. Now, some people say, hey man, they moving Swayze to the ritual. I'd rather for them to move it to the ritual and just to destroy it completely. Now, they're gonna do something with this building. Don't think they ain't. Something gonna happen with this building. But remember, Swayze in your spirit is not gonna die.
That's thank y'all very said. As I said earlier, I am indeed a product of Bryant Sedition Color School and Swayze Elementary School. I left Monroe when I finished Richwood, but I joined the United States Navy. And I rose from the bottom to the top. I achieved 17 promotions in 35 years. So I retired the greatest.
Before we hear our last tip, I apologize. Miss Sandra Moulton, I was trying to scan, I missed you. Where are you? My there? Okay. Yeah. Up here. Miss Sandra Moulton, this tip is given to you for 2 years of service to Swayze Elementary as a part of our transportation department. Your service assisted in launching the Selling the Future. Great job.
You got to have love for the sport as well as your brother man. And go for your opportunity. Whatever your dreams are, and it always ain't have to be sports. We all gonna go to pro in something besides sports. Sports are just like any other job. But whatever your ambitions are, go for it. And try to meet the people, some people that have been successful in your area. And take heed to what they're saying because they've been there. I've never been on a trail to California, but if somebody led a wagon train to California, I'm following them. Then I'll know. So the main thing is to love your sports, whatever you're in, love it, and go for it.
If somebody needs you, try to help them. If you can help them, man. Because that's what happened to us. Them people helped us, man. Yeah. Coach Freeze he said, don't waste your time with negative energy. He said, help anybody you can help. He said, don't say nothing if you didn't try to help them. Ain't that something? Coach Freeze. Yes, indeed. They need to know the history of the Southside. They need to know the history of the Grambling and the Southerns and the Jacksons and the Mississippi Valleys and all, because all these people in their particular area did the same thing for some people in those areas. They need to know that this went on in this town and ain't nobody telling it. Don't nobody know about it but us. I tell him when I, travel, Shaq, listen, Shaq will tell it everywhere. He gonna talk about Monroe, he gonna talk about the Southside, he gonna talk about the wreck. He can be in a board meeting, a scouting meeting, he'll call me and say, hey Larry, tell these boys about the wreck. Tell them about the Southside. But we need the story to be told more.
So we just got some good advice. And it's amazing with all of our delays today. I really wasn't sure we would actually be in this gym when the last bell sound, but we are 2 minutes from the sounding of the last bell.
We don't say.
As Swayze, a bell is a signal of transition. It's something important is about change and shifts. And in 1 minute, when the last bell sounds, generally at the end of the day, we don't dismiss by the bell. We always make sure that things are in place before we dismiss. But the purpose of our last bell is to signify to the teachers that it's 2:25 and we will be dismissing short, so we need to make sure we finish our instruction. In one case, you have to switch back to our home rooms and make sure we get students ready to get them safely on the bus or walking or into the halls. So it's a signal that a change has come. Today, when that bell rings, it's going to signify not only a transition for the end of the day, but the end of an era. An era of a building and people that have had a significant impact forever on the south side of the floor. At the same time that this era ends, we will all be in new chapters in our lives. But the one thing, and I poked out that picture because all the last few weeks when we knew that we were getting ready, this be our last testing season, our thing was securing the legacy. But as it's already been mentioned, regardless of whether it's in this building or outside, Swayze's legacy will live on in each one of us. And now it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we keep the legacy alive. And we pass down the legacy so that everyone will go what Swayze has stood for in his community and the impact that it has had. The last thing on our program today was for us to sing the Southside Alma. And it may be that we don't hear our intercom is doesn't work in all the buildings, so apparently it doesn't ring over here. But I believe the bell just actually rang in the upper bit. Y'all can hear it, right? So at this time, I believe we've got some music, and it's Grambling, it's the band. So if you all would like to stand and we sing our Swayze Alma.
Like they do on the football field.
Take care of that.